Hello, Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Rahil Khokar, or we are back with another episode of Code Movement Pakistan. This week we have with us is Fahad. Assalamu alaikum Fahad. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. RK, how are you? I'm doing
I'm
good.
doing well. doing well. So आज Next.js के ऊपर ट्रेनिंग का प्रोग्राम है.
Yes. We will be talking about Next.js and how to get
Okay,
started with it. So yeah,
okay. So ready?
yeah, I'm ready. Is my
चलें
screen
जी.
visible?
Yes, everyone can see your screen. So it's you now.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. And Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Starting with myself, my name is Fahad, and I'm working as a senior software engineer at All Shore Talent from the last 3 years. And today I'm going to be talking about getting started with Next.js. So, how to get started with Next.js, how to transition from if you are a React developer into Next.js, and what are the hurdles that you will go through, and what are the core concepts and methods that you need to know in order to excel in Next.js. So this is what our presentation of today will be. So let's get started without further ado. So first things first, what are the prerequisites in order to start working with Next.js? So the first one is you must have a basic knowledge of React.js. So what I mean by basic knowledge is you must have developed a couple of good projects at least. Uh, the projects that contain everything, like you have worked with Redux, you have worked with lifecycle of a component, and intermediate things. So that will be enough. So if you have built a couple of projects in React.js, transitioning from React into Next will be very easy for a developer. So if you don't have a knowledge of React, it will definitely be a hurdle for you in order to excel. So the second thing that is needed on your PC would be you must have Node.js and npm or yarn installed on your PC in order to work. So these are the prerequisites to start working. So the first question which comes into the mind is, what is Next.js? So Next.js is a powerful React framework, which is recently this thing is added that you can start making full stack web applications with it. So earlier it was a front end framework, but right now you can make full stack web applications. In the front end, you're going to use React.js, and in the back end, you will use Node.js along with Express.js as a framework. So it provides a full stack web application qualities. So apart from that, it provides a built-in routing because this was missing in React.js. You had to configure routing manually, but in Next.js it is built in. Apart from that, it provides server-side rendering. Previously in React, it is all client-side rendering, but in Next.js, it provides server-side rendering as well. Apart from that, static site generation, which we are going to talk about it later in this presentation as well. So apart from that, it also provides search engine optimization techniques as well. So you can add your SEO as well, which was missing in React.js, due to which you cannot rank your website on Google and all the other platforms where you want your website to be ranked, where you want your website to be seen in the external world as well. So Next.js provides all these built-in supports. So moving out into the next one is, why use a framework? That comes into the mind of everybody. So as we all know that React itself is just a view layer. It is a UI. So if you're working in a framework like Next.js, it provides a lot of things like routing, data fetching, SEO handling. Apart from that, performance optimization is also added built in, like code splitting and all the performance optimization of images and all those things, and much more. So frameworks like Next.js provides all of these out of the box. So uh, this is why one should start using a framework like Next.js. Moving next is so what's changing in Next.js? So a lot of boilerplate and setup code is almost the same, but um, when we used to build a React app, we run a command called create React app. But in Next.js, what's changed is you're gonna start with create next app, which we are gonna show later in the coding part as well. Apart from that, if you are going to use routing, you have to use React Router and manually code all the boilerplate by yourself. But in Next.js, it is file-based routing like in PHP. So this has been handled by Next.js as well. Apart from that, the code splitting is done manually in React, while in Next.js it is done by Next.js. So apart from that, the configuration of Babel, which converts JSX into JavaScript and ES6, and all of these things are being done manually in React.js, but in Next, uh, and this is all done automatically by Next, and the developer only focuses on the features rather than fixing all these things. So why use frameworks like Next.js? Uh, as I said earlier, it provides server-side rendering and static site generation, like for pages which can be cached. Apart from that, the performance of the application is very optimized because of the code splitting, and the bundle size is decreased. So apart from that, if you want your website to rank on Google, Bing, and other websites or other search engines, Next.js is a very powerful framework to do these things for you. So because it handles the SEO and metadata more cleanly. Apart from that, it provides better security because Vercel provides. Uh, it saves your website from DDoS attacks, and HTTPS headers are being added. It adds multiple middlewares as well. So due to these reasons, one should start using Next.js. It also offers built-in data fetching patterns and caching. So the pages are cached, so due to which the website is more optimized to load faster. So what the React team recommends is React team has explicitly encouraged developers to start with a framework. So what better to start with is rather than Next.js, because React team itself works closely with Vercel, who are the pioneers of Next.js, to ensure the best React experience. So the best React experience isn't just React, it's React within a framework which is called Next.js. So it's a better thing or better app, web application to start with rather than. Uh, so moving next is we're gonna focus on core React versus Next.js. So in core React, what we had to do is manage all the things manually. The app structure was managed by the website developer himself. So, however he wants the boilerplate, he would design it on his terms. Apart from that, uh, the routing is done manually. The data fetching patterns, there is only client-side rendering. So, in order to do server-side rendering, a web developer had to like write a lot of code and boilerplate code in order to run a server-side rendered component. Apart from that, the performance tweaks like code splitting and other things were done. All these things were done manually in core React, but in Next.js, um, the developer only focuses on building features, and Next.js itself handles the rest. So it's the developer does not have to reinvent the wheel again and again. Only he has to be focused on providing features and providing better code rather than focusing on all these other things, um, due to which Next.js provides a healthy edge. So uh, the next topic is file-based routing. So in React, the routing was done by React Router. So in order to configure a React router, a developer had to write some code, due to which and configure that code, due to which the routing was done. But in Next.js, uh, this is pretty simple and plain easily done, just like PHP does it. So in Next.js, it uses a file-based routing system just like PHP. So in order to make it work, what you have to do is create a folder in the app directory, and it becomes a route automatically. So uh, dynamic routing is also supported uh, in Next.js as well. So let's go into the coding part. So in order to make a route,
Fahad, can you please increase the font a little bit? It's not really visible.
okay, is it visible now?
One more step will be good. Yeah, that is fine. Thanks.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you very much for the feedback. So let me start the uh, next application. So let it load. So if we are making a about route, uh, so what we have to do is in the app we will create a folder by the name of about. Inside that, we will use the naming convention of page.js. So inside page.js, we will write a simple plain h1 text like about us all. So in order to view it, it's pretty simple. We will go there, and there we go. It's as simple as that to make a route and make it work. But in React.js, this wasn't as simple because you had to install React Router. Apart from that, you will do a lot of configuration, and a lot of times errors do come because the React Router uh, npm package wasn't working. So due to which it was a lot of hurdle for the developer as well. So in order to make a uh, dynamic route, it's also very simple. So let's go inside blog. For example, we have a slug of a blog which comes after the slash, like the hash code. So inside the slug folder, we will create this page.js, and we will print this slug over here. So let me show it on the front end as well, how it works. We will go to blog folder. After that, we will write presentation. So this is the dynamic route. Um, it's as simple to create a dynamic route as well. We can create anything, so it will be visible over here, and we'll be fetching this component easily. So these were the examples of file-based routing. So as you guys saw it, it's pretty simple in order to achieve this feature in Next.js, but in React.js, it was a lot of uh, hard work to do in the back. So let's come to the rendering strategies. How the rendering strategies of Next.js are done. So Next.js supports many rendering strategies. There are four in total. The first one is static site generation. So in this rendering strategy, it's pretty simple. Um, so what it does is it caches the file, and when you visit the page again, it shows you the cached version. So it doesn't send request back to the server again. So due to this, this rendering strategy is very fast uh, because the pages are cached, and it doesn't have to send request back to the server and receive back the response. So due to which this strategy is very fast, and it can be used in blogs, documentations, and marketing pages, about us page. These sort of pages, the content doesn't change every time. So due to which the content doesn't change, it's a better strategy to use static site generation than rather than server side rendering or client side rendering, because in those you definitely need pages to be changed. So performance wise, it's very fast. It loads instantly, and it also provides a good lighthouse score in search engine optimization. Excuse me. So the second one is server side rendering. So in this rendering strategy, what it does is the pages are rendered on every request on the server. So the client sends a request, and the page is rendered on the server. So it's best for dynamic data that changes often, like dashboards. It's slightly slower than SSG, which we talked earlier, because every time the request is sent to the server and the server responds, it definitely takes some time, but it ensures fresh content each time. So let me just easily describe it. What it does is, so in this in server side rendering, what we do is we take a JavaScript file that is present on the server. So this file uh, is changed into HTML and CSS on the server, and when this is changed, this file is sent, this HTML and CSS file is sent back uh, to the browser, to the client, and then he sees it. So this is why this server-side rendering takes some time. Uh, so the next one is client-side rendering. In server-side rendering, as we saw, that the server was the one who was taking all the load, and it was changing the JavaScript file into HTML and CSS. But in client-side rendering, uh, the overall load is on the browser itself. The server sends the JavaScript file to the client, and on the browser, the JavaScript file is changed into HTML and CSS and then shown to the user. So the overall rendering is done on the client side on the browser rather than on the server. So in this one, what it does is the page shell loads fast and data is fetched after the initial render via JavaScript. So it's great for private or authenticated pages, like admin panel and these sort of things, because in client-side rendering we cannot do search engine optimization. So it's good for private pages and those pages which are not essential for the search engines like Google and all those things. So it's good for those. So it's slower for the first load, but it's more dynamic, and each time the data is dynamic because a new file is sent back uh, every time. So the data is changed every time. So after that, we have the incremental static regeneration. So it's the best of both worlds. Um, it's static site generation. It uses that, but the developer himself gives a time frame for the next fetching of data. For example, if the developer gives it 60 seconds, the next page will be fetched after 60 seconds. And till those 60 seconds, the user will see the cached version. So it doesn't changes always, but based on the uh, time frame that has been given by the developer himself. So it's great for content that changes occasionally, like product pages, and it's fast delivery with controlled freshness. So it's faster because of the SSG, but there's controlled freshness of data because of the time frame that has been given by the developer. So all of these rendering strategies, coding will be done later. This was just the intro of these. So, how to set up a next project? So it's pretty simple. Let me go. Let me open CMD over here. So in React, as we know that to create a React project, we used to write a command like this: create React app, uh, React dash app. But in next application, what we do is we just remove the React and make it next. I hope I do not have same name. Let me retrieve the latest version. Yes. So for the course of this presentation, we will not use TypeScript, but it's definitely important to use it. So I will say no, ESLint no, Tailwind CSS for right now no, because we will be talking about next in detail. We will use source as a directory, and app router is recommended, so yes. TurboPack yes. Import aliases no. So it will create a next app, but I already have one. So I'm gonna terminate it, and let's go to that one. So yeah, the first folder that comes into existence is the .next folder, uh, which is the build folder when we build the application with the command of npm run build. This folder comes into existence, but it's better to not work in it or change the things in here, because it will disrupt the whole build of your folder. So the second one is the node modules folder, where the npm packages that we have installed are present. And then the next one is public folder, where the images, the fonts, the icons, and all those things are present. Apart from that, uh, we have the jsconfig.json folder file, which does the JS configuration. Apart from that, we have the next configuration file, where we can configure the middlewares and all those things that are related to Next.js. And then we have the package dash log and the package.json file where all the packages that we have installed are present. So let's go into the source folder. Over here, we have all these routes like about, blog, CSR, home. These are routes. But if we are making an API, uh, because since it also supports the backend API building as well in the new version, we will create an API folder, because without this naming convention it won't work. So inside this we can make APIs as well. So for example, if I am creating a hello route, we will create a hello folder inside API, and inside that we will use the naming convention of route.js. For the front end, we will use page.js. For the backend APIs, we will use route.js. So inside this, what we are gonna do is we can create a backend route. For example, to uh, hit this API endpoint, we will follow this URL localhost 3000 slash API slash hello. And in this way, we can hit it. And over here, I've just printed a next response, which is a message which says hello from hello route. So let's test it out and see how it responds. Excuse me. So here we go. It's as simple as that. To make an API endpoint, and it fetches this message. So let's see how things work. So as I said earlier, that the public folder contains all the images, the fonts, and files in this folder are served directly from the root. In the styles folder, we can have the CSS or SAS files, and it also comes with default globals.css file as well. In the next folder, .next folder, these are auto-generated build files, so it's better to not touch them. And these are created when you run npm run build. Node modules folder contains all the installed npm packages. So the configuration and metadata files, packet.json, which uh, contains all the dependencies. The next.config.js customizes the next.js behavior and configuration. And tsconfig.json, this file will be present if we had using TypeScript, so it does the TypeScript configuration. So we also have bonus and optional folders as well. So you can also add these into your boilerplate if you want. So for example, components which contains the reusable React components like navbar, like footer, all like buttons, and all those things that are reusable. You can put them over here. The lib folder, which contains the utility function and API clients. um, the hooks, you can create custom React hook over here. The context folder, you can create one if you're not using Redux for state management. So it provides React context providers as well. The layout folder will contain all the pages, layout, and wrappers. So the next topic is pages and routing. So in this, we will create an about.js uh, route, which we already did earlier and displayed it as well. So we'll not go deep in it. So apart from that, we have styling with CSS modules. So it's pretty easy in order to style uh, things in Next.js. For example, we have this file with the name of page.module.css, and here we contain a class with the name of .main, and here we have written some CSS with it. So in order to uh, get this class and use it in a JS file, what we are gonna do is go into our page.js file. So over here we will import the styles from page.module.css, and then after that we will simply call it by using styles.main. In this way we can style our CSS as well. So the next is image optimization. In React, there was some problem with image optimization, and in order to optimize an image, uh, s- it was a lot of coding. Uh, it was a lot of code to write. But in Next.js, uh, this has been optimized automatically, and all you have to do is use the image class from Next image and import it from there and use it in your code, and these images will be automatically optimized. In order to use it, let's go to the image folder and then the page.js file. At here, we'll import it at the top and then use that image, provide the source of it, and give the width and height properties, and boom, there you go. To see how it works is we will go to the image route and we will see it over here. So this is image is very optimized. It's better for search engine optimization, and in order to achieve a better score in SEO, uh, you definitely need your images to be optimized, because Google is pretty strict on images as well. So what are the advantages of this image optimization? What it does is it provides lazy loading, so the images are lazy loaded, and it provides an optimized version of the image. Apart from that, the images are automatically resized for different screens. So if you do not provide uh, a fixed height and width, it will be automatically resized for different screens. And it's better performance rather than using a regular image, which we used to use in React.js. Excuse me. So the next topic is about the API routes. Um, so in order to work in Next.js, it also gives us backend routes as well. So you do not have to use two different codes in order to work on a single project, because it's a it provides support for a full stack application. Earlier, the developers used to build the front end on the React and the back end on Node.js, but in Next.js, it all comes under one roof, and you can make a full stack web application uh, by just using Next.js application. So let's go to the API folder. Let me minimize everything. API folder, and then to the hello route. Over here, as I earlier described it, we will make a route which will be accessible using this. On the front end, we can simply uh, access it by using simply like this. So in the front end, we will access it by using the fetch method, and it will be localhost 3000 since I've made a env variable API slash hello, and then display the message on the front end. So let's see it in action. So the the message comes over here, hello from hello route. So it's as simple to make an route in the backend like we did over here, and then access that route on the front end simply like that. But earlier it was pretty hard for a developer to do both of these things. So next is we can also deploy this uh, next application on Vercel, because Vercel is the parent company that has built Next.js. So it's pretty simple. We can log in with GitHub in Vercel and then import that repo that we have on GitHub, and then simply deploy it. So it won't take more than 5 to 10 minutes to deploy a web application of Next.js. I'm not going to go into that because it's out of the scope of this presentation, but it's pretty simple. So yeah, let's get into the rendering strategies again, but this time we will be coding it up. So the first one is static site generation. As I earlier said, these pages are cached, and every time when we visit the web page, we only see the cached version of the page, because the request is not sent again and again to the server. The request is sent only once, and then when we visit the page again, we only see the cached version of the page. So in this way, the HTML is generated at build time, served instantly on every request. So the use case of these are blogs, documentation, about us page, contact us page, those sort of pages that doesn't need changes every now and then. So it's fast, the versions are cached. So rebuild is needed for every time when we want updates. So we have to uh, make a new build if you want to change the page. So reloading this page won't update the response unless you rebuild the app. So what it does is user request a site, server sends static HTML file with JS resources. So the version is cached. So the browser renders the HTML, and the website is fully interactive. So let's see it in action. Let's go to the SSG, which is server-side generation, and then page.js. So we will use the same route that we created, localhost 3000 API hello, but this time we will cache the response. So it's forced cache. Uh, and when we change the message of it, it won't change because the message is cached. So let's see how it does is, let's go to the front end and see SSG. So yeah, the response is page built at hello from hello route, because this is the message that we were seeing earlier. So let's see it, and let's add a message changed for presentation. So I've added some change in the message, but since the, the response was cached for the first time, it won't change again. So when I reload it, this response never changes because it doesn't get the data from the server again. The response is cached and it doesn't change for the time being. So this was all about static site generation. In this version, the responses are cached. In the second one, which is about client side rendering, which is also done in React, in this, the only difference is the browser does all the rendering. The client does all the rendering. The JavaScript file that has been sent from the server is being changed into HTML and CSS and then displayed on the browser. So all of the hard work, all of the coding, all of the rendering is done by the client itself. So what are the use cases of it? Dashboards, user specified data, and all those pages where SEO is not critical or where SEO is not needed because the response doesn't comes from the server. So it's great for dynamic user data where data always changes, but it's slower to load and also bad for SEO. So let's see how it works. Excuse me. So let's go in CSR client side rendering and then the page.js. So over here, we will use React. To use React, we will use this naming convention, use client at the top, because without this, uh, the component will be SSR or server side render. So if we use this, this component will become a client-side rendered component. So import use effect and use state hooks at the top, and then set a message which will be empty for the time being, and then we will use localhost 3000 and the same API that we created earlier, and then set the message over here and display the message at the bottom. So let's see how it works. CSR. So yeah, in this way, the message is changed. Hello from hello route changed for presentation. So if I change it again into hello from hello route, it will be changed again because it goes because in this way the data is changed again and again. So this was all about client-side rendering, where all the rendering was done by the browser itself. In server-side rendering, the only difference is the rendering is all done on the server, and the JavaScript files or the builds are all changed into HTML and CSS on the on the server, and then those files are sent to the browser to display. So, what are the use cases of these pages that must show real-time or user-specific content? So the data that is real-time, that is changed, and when SEO is needed, you will use SSR. When SEO is not a problem for you, use CSR client-side rendering. So in this way, what are the pros? The data is always fresh. The data is always search engine friendly, but it's slightly slower due to server computation because server does all the computation and rendering by himself. The fourth one is incremental static regeneration. So, like SSG, static site generation, but you can regenerate static pages in the background. So, what are the use cases of it? News, e commerce, product pages, content that updates occasionally. The performance, it provides the performance of SSG with content freshness. So let's get into the coding side of it. How it works is
So, Fahad,
Yeah.
I know it's going well, really. So, what do you think? How much time we have remaining? So we are like running towards the end of the time here.
Okay. I think like I can wrap it up in 10 minutes.
Wrap it up in 10 minutes. Okay, if we can do it in five, that will be great.
Okay. Yeah.
All
Sure.
right. Thanks,
So
man.
yeah. Okay. In ISR, incremental static generation, the developer all he does is he revalidates the code every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, a new request is sent to the server. So let's see it in action. ISR. So it says page built at hello from hello route. Let's change it up a bit for 10 seconds. Let's add that one. So I refreshed it, it doesn't change. But when the 10 seconds complete, when I refresh it, the data will be changed again. So after every 10 seconds, the where I have added in the code over here, revalidate it. After every 10 seconds, it will refetch the data again. So these are the sum. This is the summary of rendering strategies in SSG, and the build time is very fast. It is search engine friendly, but there is no real time data. In CSR and SSR, the build time is slightly slower, but it's real time data, and it's SSR is search engine friendly. So these are all the summary of rendering strategies. So we can also do SEO with Next.js. Uh, so let's see how it works is let's go into SEO page.js. Over here, I have used the generate metadata function, which does the SEO of the site. So at the top, I will add the title of the page and then the description, which is pretty simple, plain and clear. So let's see how it looks. So yeah, let me see the page source of it. Let's find title. So there we go. The title and the uh, description of it. Let me zoom it. Uh, Both of these things are being added in the page. So it's as simple to add friendly titles and description into a page and rank it out on Google and other search engines. So I think that's a wrap and we are done.
All right. Great. Thank you. So there are a couple of questions actually that I was seeing here. So I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
pull them up on the screen, and they're easy. I think I'll be able to answer them as well. Um, the first one: how can we integrate third-party state management libraries like Redux or Resistant in the next step? Yeah, we can definitely. Give me a second, please.
Yeah.
Right. So we can definitely add third-party state management libraries into our next application, the likes of Zustand and Redux. So that is fine if you want to do it that way. That is good.
Yeah.
Next.js applications do support that. And second question is can I can rephrase this question. So, can we actually develop backend of the applications in your Next.js? Yes, we can
Yeah.
do that. So you can be like really um, how should I put it? I mean, you need to be very concerned about the depth you want to go into your background of your application, how big that application is. So there are a few decisions that you need to make, and what technology stack actually you'll be using. So if you want to go that route, you have to have some good understanding of the depth and the constraints this Next.js framework has applied. But yes, logically you can develop a full stack application as well. And
Yes.
the second part of this question is like, what's the future of Next.js? So I can start sharing my screen and give you something to see. So I hope it's visible. So
Yeah.
it's an official React website, right? And if I just scroll on the home page and go down there, so there's a section called Go Full Stack with Framework. So you can see, so React is a library. It lets you put components together, but it doesn't prescribe how to do routing, data fetching, and things like that. So to build an entire app with React, we recommend a full stack React framework. So now they're recommending, rather than creating a core React app that we used to do uh, earlier on, now we need to move on to a framework like these, right? So
Yeah.
Next.js, Remix, or any framework of your choice. So these two are one of the most famous ones. So we are trying to bring another training on Remix JS as well. That is an exciting framework for React as well. So we'll be bringing it up in next couple of weeks, hopefully. So that was all from the question side. Thanks, Fahad. And it went
Thank you very
really, really
much.
well today.
Thank you very
And catch you
much.
guys later.
Okay, for having
See
me.
you next week.
Thank you very much.
Probably not next
Oh,
week. We have Eid coming up. So we'll meet after the Eid, inshallah.
inshallah. Inshallah.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Have a great time.